Okay, so this is the assignment. You're gonna make six thumbnail sketches. When I'm working on these, I would work from the top down, and then you're not dragging your hand through your drawings below. You're gonna choose the best one, the one that you like the best, and you're gonna blow it up into a bigger painting. Probably it's going to be 9 by 12, something like that. These shouldn't be much bigger than 3 by 4. Something close to that would work. But I like this one, and you're just going to measure it out like you did for the last paintings on the 1 inch. So this would be 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and then you're going to blow it up times 3, which would be 3 inch to 3 inches, and 3 by 4 would go to 9 by 12. That's the assignment. When you get to this, you can work this up in more detail, and you can see in this drawing there's a lot more detail. This could go even further if I felt it to go, but it's got kind of a painterly feel, which is similar to what I do with my work. So it fits what I'm doing. The biggest thing on this is put in the background. We've got to start to put backgrounds in. We've had a lot of these individual studies, and it's good. But you guys, when like the figures that were in the box for the drawings, a lot of people ignore the background. The boxes look good, but the boxes were dark, and you need to go into that. You've got to put a background in. The background is just as important as whatever the figure is. And by figure, I mean, it could be a tool, it could be a doll. I don't care what it is that you're using, or a photo. But I think that you should do at least 3 photos. You can work from objects. This is a great object to work from, but put in a background. There's going to be some sort of a, unless you've got this on white paper, this is more like a gray. Put in the gray. Put it behind it, because it's going to offer a lot of support, and I'll have some names of some artists to look at. These thumbnail sketches, don't put too much detail into them. The areas can't hold that much detail. It's like a poem. This becomes more like your short story right here, where you can put more detail into it. But again, it's the background. It's all gotta contribute to it. And I would even put in the backgrounds before I put in the figures, because then you got a nice balance. And you can use the white of the paper. I'm using the white of the paper. Not everything needs to get filled in. We'll keep it fresh. So while I'm talking here, I'm going to show you one more thing, and that is to work with, I kind of want you to try this out, which is like, okay, you're going to think I'm just a narcissist if I do another self-portrait. So let me go to this, which is a painting of a car that I did. Okay, so say if I want to do a thumbnail of this. This is just like a little pen, and a lot of pens are water soluble. So I can make a wash out of this quite nicely, right? So what I'm going to do is make just a quick sketch, and I want you to try this out. See if you've got a pen that is water soluble. And I'm just gonna put in this car. I'm gonna rough it in. I'm gonna make this real quick so you can kind of see. This is kind of a big painting of a car. It's one of the things that I do as far as imagery goes. So it's an old Mustang, and that's probably good enough for just like a quick sketch. Now let me show you what happens with this. Is that when I hit into it, this is a great way to work in sketchbooks. Is just like, just a little bit of water. If there's more concentration of marks, you get a nice black. This will drop in a nice background. It's going to be a little bit wet to work right here, right now, but you kind of get the idea. So this could get worked up in the same kind of way. And details could be gone into. It takes ink beautifully. You can kind of hit into it, and the marks become darker. It's real loose, and this is super sketchy, and that's a good way to work. This is all process. We're just kind of exploring what's going on in the picture. As this dries, it would work. You could always wick this up a little bit to proceed in terms of like putting in a shadow, but as it's wet, it really takes a dark mark like this. Now I got the shadow under the car. I could add more details. Of course, I could go back into it with white acrylic. I could add a coffee wash into this. It's a great way to work, and you know, try one of these thumbnails with this. If you have one of these pens, if you don't sweat it. Okay, so that's that.